Hey, how can I help you?
Get this vintage, early 1970s spy pen radio.
Cool. Did you get this out of the back of a comic book?
Yes.
Okay. Wouldn't you have loved to have this when you were a kid?
I mean, maybe if I was born in the 60s. That wasn't a joke, Rick.
My grandmother got it for me in the early 70s, and it's a really neat little novelty. I've been a collector for about 25 years, and I feel that it's just time to start selling a few things off. I would like to get $300. If I get that or a little less, I would be good with that.
This is really cool. I mean, when I was a kid, me and my friends always read comic books. And on the back of comic books, there was all sorts of weird little gadgets and weirdness things you could buy. I wanted the submarine really, really bad.
The Polaris submarine?
The Polaris nuclear submarine for $7, and my parents told me it was too expensive and it was stupid and I couldn't get it, and I never forgave them. So how much was this?
This was actually like $4 back in the day.
Which was, I mean, not a whole lot of money, but remember, usually this was like an 8 or 9-year-old kid trying to get this money out of his parents. So I don't imagine they sold a whole lot of them.
I would think that this would be one of the better things that you got out of there, because this here actually works.
Yeah, I know exactly what it is. This right here would clip to a large piece of metal. They hit the metal, they sort of turn back into electricity. With the crystals, it'll make the crystals vibrate, and through a teeny little amplifier, you can actually hear sounds without batteries.
Sounds so fun.
This old spy pen is really cool. I remember in the early 70s, my friends ordering toys from comic books. So to see something like this in that good of condition really brings back some old memories. So, you looking to sell it?
Yeah, I'd like to sell it.
How much you want for it?
I was looking $300.
This is weird because it was for kids, and it was generally, they would play with it for a week and it was gone. So, you know, I imagine there's not a whole lot of them out there. I am going to go out on a limb here and offer you $150 because I have no idea what this thing is going to go for.
Sounds like a deal.
All right, cool. Chump, go write them up.
I'm gonna leave that spy pen radio with you.
Okay.
You can have some fun.
My grandmother bought it for $4 out of a magazine, and I just sold it for $150. So I think that's just a great score.
All right. I think I can figure that out.
What in the hell are you doing, Chumley?
Building something for your son.
What are you building for my son?
I'm building this little submarine thing he wanted back when he was a kid that you never got him. He's probably gonna give me the rest of the day off when he gets it.
Yeah, right. Keep dreaming, chum.
How long did you spend building this thing?
Couple work days. Oh, I wanted to give your dad something nice. Pretty good, huh? Hey, there he is.
What's this?
Check it out. The USS Chum. That submarine you always wanted.
That is the dumbest looking submarine I ever seen in my life.
Does it look like the Polaris to you?
I think the Polaris was a little bit bigger.
I think you were just smaller at the time.
You know what, Chum? I'm going to give you A for effort.
Could I get a day off?
No.
Could I get a couple hours off?
I think you already took a couple hours off building it.
You two are really okay with this.
It was a very nice gesture. Thank you, Chum.
You're welcome.
When did I become the normal person in this pawn shop?
Oh, hi, you must be Rick.
That's me, and I hear you got radios.
I have a lot of radios. Come on in.
Okay. No wonder you couldn't come into the shop. You have a lot of stuff here.
I'm hoping that I can make a deal to sell a couple key pieces from my collection. As I collected over the years, I started to focus down on the Toshiba radio brand. So these other radios became superfluous. and I thought this might be an opportunity to sell a few of the nice ones.
It's an interesting thing to collect. Before transistor radios, a radio was furniture in the house, but this thing was like so high tech. This was like space age technology.
Oh yeah, this is the beginning of modern technology as we know it today.
I mean, yeah, the transistor was invented in 1947 at AT&T Bell Labs, and the first transistor radio came out in 1954. They became such a big deal. I mean, it was like probably the first portable electronics there ever were.
Oh yeah.
So what's the oldest one you got?
This radio is the Regency TR1, the first commercial transistor radio, and sold like hotcakes. They were very popular. The next one that was really important, a little startup company in Japan came out with this little guy. This was the Sony TR63, and the entire Sony Corporation was built off of this little radio.
Okay.
And I got the original box that it came in, and the box is even more rare than the radio itself.
So that's the first Sony product?
Well, it's the first Sony product that was exported to the United States. The first Sony radio is this little guy right here. It's the TR55. Now, this radio, among radio collectors, is considered the holy grail. There's probably not more than a half a dozen of these in the entire country.
So, I mean, how much are you looking to get out of these?
For the Regency, I would say $500.
The Sony?
The box and radio together is $600.
Okay, and the Holy Grail there?
That one, I would be asking $5,000.
Okay. So I just started dealing in these things. I've had a few of them. So we got the Regency and the TR63 with the box. Will you take $700 for those two on the end?
No, I just absolutely can't. The best I can do is $1,000. They're worth every penny.
Okay. It's a fair price. I'll give you $1,000 for the pair of them.
Okay, you're getting fantastic radios.
Cool. Instead of having to bring the old collection down, could you just bring those to the pawn shop? I'll get your ID. I'll get you paid.
Great, fantastic, thank you. Rick and I turned out to be on the same frequency. I think I'm going to take the money and buy a couple tickets for my wife and I to go out to Pennsylvania and visit the grandkids. What do we got here?
I have this old antique radio receiver. It was made in 1923 by DeForest's Model D7A.
Sure this isn't some kind of electronic dream catcher?
It's an antique radio receiver that you would use in your home. I'm hoping to get $2,000 for this radio, but I'm willing to go as low as $1,500. I could imagine living in time with no radio, and I imagine it would be a more peaceful time.
This is really something I've never seen before. DeForest was a company that wanted to broadcast a little bit more than music and stuff like that. They wanted lectures, church services, more stuff for the masses. Mm-hmm. The thing that made these really cool was they found a way to actually make very clear broadcasts. Mm-hmm. You know, before these, radio was pretty fuzzy. But because of this, the president could give speeches over the radio.
Mm-hmm. This may be one of the weirdest radios I've ever seen. It's definitely a cool piece of history, and it's in pretty good shape. But I'm just not sure if there's a market out there for old tube radios like this.
So what do you know about this thing?
It's all in the original shape, original tubes, original coil antenna, manual, and headphones.
Okay. So, tell me, man, what are you looking to get out of it?
I was thinking 2,000.
Buddy, at $2,000, there's just no way. You're looking at $100. You're gonna give me a ridiculous number at 2,000. I'm gonna give you a ridiculous number at $100.
Okay, well, how about 1,500?
Absolutely not. Bottom line, man, you got a $400 radio here.
Yeah, I can't sell for 400.
All right, my man. Well, I appreciate you coming down, and if you ever decide to bring it back, I'll be here, all right?
All right.
Take care.
Thank you. Well, obviously, this guy didn't want my radio, but I'm gonna keep this radio for now. I'm gonna possibly get it tested for functionality and sell it for way more.
Hi, good morning.
What is this?
Well, that is a watch I found in a steamer trunk. My dad was a watch collector, and this was one of the watches I remember that we couldn't play with.
The world's smallest private mini radio. This is cool. Space 2005. I love all this stuff when all the old toys would be like 1999 in the year 2000 and everything like that. And everyone would be wearing those silver suits with a Nehru collar.
Yeah.
Sure. They'd all look like Dr. Evil.
My father, he used to bring home a lot of space toys simply because my birthday was the day that they took off for the moon. Well, I'm going to ask for $200, and I know people get nostalgic for things of that nature, so I figured somebody might want this thing.
Does it have like a patent date on it or anything?
I know it was from sometime in the 60s.
Okay. The 60s and the space race, it was a neat time in American history. Every kid in the world loved space. We have a little picture of Sputnik right there, and that's what started it all, 1957. The Russians put a satellite in space, and everyone was like, you know, I mean, it was like the most scariest thing in the world. The Russians are in space. They're going to nuke us tomorrow then.
Right.
We figured by 2005, we would be having, like, colonies on the moon. The space race captured everyone's imagination and led to all sorts of toys, TV shows, movies, you name it. And if you had this wrist radio, you would be the coolest kid on the block. And today, adults that were children in the 60s absolutely love these things and pay a fortune for them. This is really, really cool.
What I remember, the way that you turned it on was plugging the earphone in, and the way you turned it off was take the earphone out. So there was no power switch other than that.
It did work, though. And on your wrist, you would have to run this down your shirt, into your ear.
Right.
It is the first Walkman.
Theoretically, yeah, I guess it would be the first Walkman.
Yeah. Hey, this is pretty neat, though. I'm super impressed with it. How much did you want for it?
I was thinking $200 for it.
I got a buddy who's got a shop right down the street. Let me give him a call. He'll run up here. He does it for me all the time. And let me have him take a look at this thing.
Great.
I will be right back, and I'm gonna bring this with me so I can just read it off to him on the phone. Okay, I'll be right back.
I could not find anything online that could substantiate what it was worth, so anyone's expert opinion is better than none.
Good to see you, man. What you got for me to look at?
High-tech stuff.
Sweet, man. This classic 60s stuff right here. The world's smallest private mini radio. And that could very well be true. After World War II, I mean, the Japanese were jumping into transistor radios and technology, and then they started to make them smaller and smaller. Later on, they started to get more into electronics like Nintendo and other items. I mean, this was cutting-edge technology back then. Back in the 60s, John F. Kennedy was pushing for kids to learn about science. Space was big. Transistor radios were fairly new technology, and there's a lot of guys who would collect this kind of item. So what are your concerns, Rick?
Just the big thing is what's it worth?
I mean, that all looks period. I mean, that looks all right. The headphones and the box is in really good condition. It's super rare. I mean, in all my time doing toys, and I've maybe seen one other one in my lifetime, so the item's in pristine condition. I could see you easily getting in the $350, maybe $400 for this.
Okay, that much?
Wow.
There's guys who collect the old transistor radios. I mean, that guy would pop an item like this.
Okay. Well, thanks, dude.
All right, cool. I think Rick should buy this item. It has a lot of things going for it. Condition's great, so you should have no problem selling it if he picks it up.
So I guess it's worth a little bit more than we thought.
I guess it is, yeah. I would have never thought it would have been that much money, but...
Okay. Give me $200 for it.
Well, you know, I mean, the more that we've been standing here talking about it, you know, kind of the nostalgia set in, and, you know, I do remember this as a kid. He said $300 to $400.
An hour ago, when you wanted $100, it didn't have all that sentimental value. I think 200 is more than a fair price.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think $250 is going to be my lowest number that I'll go on this.
It's a cool piece. I really dig it. It's neat. Yeah, dude, $225 is going to be it.
Well, I think I'm gonna hold on to it for a few more years, and we'll see if it goes up in value anymore at that point.
Okay. All right, thanks, man.
Nice meeting you.
All right. You know what? Come on, I'll give you the $250.
You sure?
Yeah, I didn't think you were gonna walk.
Well,
Okay, all right, I'll meet you right up front.
great, thanks.
Cool. Emotional attachment.
I feel great. To be perfectly honest with you, I had no emotional attachment to that thing whatsoever. I was just looking to get as much money as I could for it.
So what do we got here?
This is a 1941 Philco radio.
So does it work?
Yes, I had it working today on the AM station.
What were you listening to?
Rush Limbaugh was on.
Oh.
This Philco radio is in great condition. I'm not sure what it's worth, but I'm hoping to get $250 for it. I'd be happy with that.
So where'd you get it?
I got it at an antique store. I just saw this and sort of liked the looks of it and thought it was a cool looking box. I'm selling it today because I moved from a larger house and I don't really have room. I have a lot of stuff stacked up that I need to get rid of.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really major. There's just little teeny little nicks. I mean, the nicks could be filled in with wood putty.
Back in the 1930s, when you went out and bought a radio, you bought one that matched your furniture. If you had modern furniture, you would have a modern design. If you had traditional furniture, you'd buy a traditional design.
Let's check out the bag.
All right. What I like about this radio is, number one, the looks. And it's got tubes in it. They all light up and stuff, so it's interesting from the backside, too.
Everything looks good. I mean, I don't see a problem with it. There's no big burn-up tubes or anything like that.
Any old radio before 1970 had vacuum tubes. Vacuum tubes look like light bulbs, but the glass is much thicker. The electronic components in them have to get to a certain temperature before they'll work properly.
Do all the buttons work?
Yes, this one is the on-off switch.
Okay.
You want it on?
Yeah, let's turn it on.
All right, wait till it comes out. There you go. Tubes have to warm up.
The expression, "it takes a while to warm up," comes from the old radios. It took a while for them to warm up.
There we go.
I hear something.
Get on the board with a run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left after 4.
Oh, this is great.
Listen to the ball game now, huh?
The moment I turned on the radio and the baseball game came on, it was like, whoa, this feels like 1939.
How much do you want for it?
I'm hoping to get $250 for it.
I couldn't come close to that. I mean, $250, $350 is what these are worth refinished.
Oh.
And if you did it yourself, you spent a weekend doing it, you could get it.
Oh.
Okay, my problem is I buy it, I have to pay someone to do that.
Well, what's the best you can do for me today?
What I like about the radio is it works, it's in pretty good condition, and it wouldn't cost much to refurbish it.
Can I give you $100 for it?
Oh, no, that's terrible. Why don't we meet halfway, make it $150?
Okay, deal, $150.
All right.
Cool.
Thanks a lot.
This is the type of item a guy will buy off me, he'll bring it home, put it in his garage, fix it up a little bit, and put it in his house. It's a perfect pet project.
What can I help you with?
You got a shortwave radio, a 1963 model, Zenith Oceanic.
Okay.
You could probably contact ET with this thing, Rick.
And it doesn't broadcast, he just receives.
He could probably contact us then.
I decided to come to the pawn shop today to sell my radio. It's a shortwave. It's a pretty rare find. It's a Model 3000, manufactured by Zenith in 1963. It's a unique, very collectible piece, and hoping to get some good money for it.
The cool thing about these is you could listen to like thousands of different broadcasts from all over the world because shortwave will travel all across the world. You could get a lot of information on this thing, especially at night, because you got better reception at night. Unlike FM signals, you're able to hear shortwave and AM signals from great distances because the radio waves are bounced off the ionosphere and sent back down to Earth. And it's particularly stronger at night because you're not having the sun interfere with the radio signals. It's neat that it's made in the USA. Actually, in the 1960s, right around 90% of all electronics in the world were made in the United States. And these things were expensive. So, my oh my, how things have changed, haven't they? I mean, it seems like it's in great shape. Does it work?
Yeah, it works great.
Well, let's turn it on. I guarantee we can hear something from somewhere. No, we're not picking up anything.
I think I hear aliens trying to communicate with us.
This thing is neat. I remember the old man having one just like it as a kid growing up. I'd like to have it, but it's only gonna make sense if I get it for the right price.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, so what do you want to do with this thing?
I'd like to sell it.
How much were you looking to get out of it?
I'd like to have $80.
The thing's in beautiful shape. Yeah, I'll go like $80 on it.
You're asking a fair price.
You can't take his first offer.
It's a fair price.
This doesn't happen very often, but the guy obviously did his homework and threw out a fair price. So I took it.
Go over there and write them up, chum.
$60.
80 bucks, chum. Go write them up.
You guys buy old military electronics?
Oh, yes, I do. God, it's cool. You know anything about it?
It's a radio detection, you know, I don't know, it's like a, you know, but, you know. I'm known as the Wizard of Odd. I love odd things. I've plugged it in, and this thing just kind of hums and buzzes and gets hot. It sounds like it's trying to contact someone from outer space. I mean, what the heck does it do?
I'm assuming it's probably World War II vintage. I imagine it is for detecting radio signals, kind of like a really basic GPS.
But once you take these screws out, that's where the story starts to unfold. Back in here, there's some paperwork. And it says it's from USS Eldridge.
Really? Whoa. October 24th, 1965, naval auction. One Navy radio, USS Eldridge. For years, there's always been the talk of the Philadelphia experiment.
I've heard of it, but I don't understand it.
Basically, they tried to come up with a cloaking device for a ship. Some conspiracy theories are that they were using magnetism to bend light, and that would have made it invisible.
There's stories that they had the ship in the harbor there, and it disappeared, appeared in Norfolk, Virginia, and then came back to Philadelphia. No one knows what really happened, but that's what they say.
You guys are tripping me out.
The Philadelphia experiment most likely didn't happen. Not only does the Navy deny ever doing it, but even if they did try, I'm sure it breaks some law of physics.
Date accepted 10 of 1942. That means this was on the USS Eldridge during the Philadelphia experiment.
Wow.
How much you want for it?
I'd like to get a couple $100 out of it.
World War II radio stuff can be worth a lot of money. It's cool that it was on that ship, but it was sold in an auction for $9.
Make me an offer over $9, come on.
Hell, I'll pay $10 for it. I mean, it's the Philadelphia experiment.
Again, there's not a lot of proof that anything happened.
Come on, $15.
All right, deal.
Shake?
Sure.
When they started talking about top secret something, da-da-da, Philadelphia, I thought, boy, lucky me. Not today.